Okay, let's dive in. Welcome, everyone, to the deep dive.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're looking at something pretty specific. It's excerpts from a Reuters article dated June 7, 2025.
That's right. And this particular article, it really zeroes in on just one aspect,
Jeez.
Iran's official reaction,
Hmm.
specifically to a U.S. travel ban that had just been implemented around that time.
Right. So our goal here, our mission for this deep dive, is really to unpack what this source, this Reuters piece, tells us about Iran's perspective, how they officially framed their response.
Exactly. What's the official line that Reuters picked up from Tehran?
So what did the article highlight? What's the immediate takeaway?
Well, the first thing that jumps out from the report is just how strong the reaction was. It mentions Iran condemned the U.S. travel ban pretty quickly, no hesitation.
Okay, condemnation. That's sort of expected, maybe in these diplomatic spans. The value here, I guess, is the why. Does the source give us the specific reason or language they used?
It does, yeah. That's the core of it. It doesn't just say they objected. It quotes or, well, paraphrases their reasoning.
And what was that reasoning, according to Reuters?
According to the report, the official statement from Iran called the U.S. travel ban an act showing deep hostility.
Deep hostility.
Yeah. Towards Iranians and Muslims.
Okay, deep hostility. That's not subtle language, is
It's
it?
not at all.
It moves it beyond just a policy disagreement or, a practical problem for travelers.
Exactly. It frames it as being about intent. Like the U.S. action itself demonstrates this really profound animosity.
And specifically directed, they say, at Iranians and the wider Muslim community.
That's what the source indicates, Iran stated, yes. And that's where this excerpt is quite revealing.
How so?
Because by focusing on that specific phrase, deep hostility, the Reuters article really highlights the deliberate messaging.
Right. It wasn't just, we disagree or this is unfair.
Precisely. It was framed to emphasize this perceived, well, emotional or political antagonism behind the ban itself.
So even from just this snapshot from Reuters, we get a sense of how Iran officially interpreted this U.S. action.
And how they presented it, yeah. Filtering it through this specific lens, hostility for their own audiences, and internationally too, presumably.
It really shows how an event gets immediately packaged, doesn't it?
It does. And the source gives us that specific framing device, deep hostility. That's the reported reason, the core of the rhetoric captured by Reuters. It's quite potent.
Okay, so let's try and summarize the key takeaway from this brief look at the source material then.
Well, I'd say it's Iran's swift condemnation of the ban.
Right, coupled with their stated justification, as reported by Reuters at least.
Exactly. That justification being that the ban showed deep hostility towards Iranians and Muslims. That specific framing is the nugget from this source.
Which leads us to maybe a final thought for you, the listener, to consider.
Yeah, think about how official reactions, like the one detailed here, are constructed. Governments choose their words carefully.
So how might using a term like deep hostility, as reported in this Reuters piece, actually shape perceptions?
Both inside Iran, for the domestic audience, and also for the international community watching. How does that specific language frame the whole event?
Something to mull over next time you read about official state responses in the news.
Definitely.
Okay, that wraps up our deep dive for today.